Hey, fellow Ristopians, welcome back to Ristopia. It's been a while, apologies. Got hopefully an interesting video today. As you can see, three very nice watches into the channel. Batman, yeah, Batman. In honor of that, I also have a lovely Lego Technic Batmobile. It's the new, let me just show you that wheel. Look at that wheel. That wheel's quite cool. I haven't really kept up with the Batman DC Comics Batman franchise. But yeah, not sure which variant of Batmobile that one is. Maybe let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, I wasn't really into Batman as a kid. It was kind of just something that was there, the original Batman. I really didn't like the Riddler. He was very annoying. I don't like riddles. Anyway, let's crack on. So yeah, that Batmobile, it was on offer. I got it cheap. Whether I'll ever get around to making it or not is another question. But yeah, I suppose it looks quite cool. Maybe I'll have to try and watch the movie that Batmobile is in. So Batman, we have three Batmen here. We have three watches that are vying for the crown of ultimate Batman. Let's start off with the Casio. Let's take this out of the box. Now, this is a USA purchased Casio Duro. I don't think I've had it out of the box before. I don't think I would have put it back in. And you know what? I'm not even going to take off this little stand. Let's have a look at it. Boom. Isn't that nice? No, I haven't had it out of the box before because it's still ticking. Wasting a battery. Let me just pop that crown out. There we go. Let's pop it back in a sec so you can see the lovely marlin there. Yeah, the Batman edition Casio Duro. Fully marlined. Actually, maybe I will take it off. Yeah, let's take it off. All or nothing. Yeah, fully marlined. So it's got a marlin on the back there. And the marlin on the front. I had to get this from Amazon US because the UK version, I believe, doesn't have any marlins on, which is rubbish, really. Because I think the whole thing, it just doesn't look as good without the marlins. So I've got the black Duro. And when I saw the new variants, I think there was a Pepsi, a Batman. Was there another one? I can't remember. I was only interested in the Batman. But yeah, I wasn't really that interested when I saw that the UK ones wouldn't have the marlin. But then I saw it on Amazon US and it did have the marlin. I think I got this before it came out in the UK anyway. But yeah, so never had a problem getting things from Amazon US. So I would recommend you do that if there's something on there that you would like. I think was there an issue with you had to put a postcard? I can't remember now. Oh no, that's right. So there are certain things on Amazon US that you can buy being in the UK. If you want to look at everything on Amazon US, you have to put in a US postcode unless you've got one of those VPN things. But so I just Googled a McDonald's in America and just put a postcode in. So I could look at the whole range of things available in the US, but obviously I'd have to be in US to buy. They will only be shipped to the US. But this was one of the things that was happily shipped to the UK. So I've got that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it because I do intend to do some. I'm definitely going to take this horrible rubberish strap off. I'll probably pop it on a bracelet. Not sure. Oh, I don't know really. Maybe I won't because I've got some crystals some sapphire crystals for these. I've got 2 sapphire crystals and 2 metal bracelets. They're unbranded. Obviously, they're not Casio because Casio do not make a metal bracelet for this as yet. I don't know that I really want to touch this one. I think I'll just keep it as it is. I don't want to. We'll see how the crystal replacement goes with the other models, the black bezeled ones. And maybe I will do it with this one, but I think this is just a safe queen, really, if I'm honest. I don't think I'm going to really do anything with that. So that's contender number 1. Now, contender number 2 is my lovely Pagani design Batman, which I love. I'm not. I've got a few Pagani design watches. I am. I'm probably not a fan, to be honest. I think that, but I do love this one. Got a lovely. Doesn't seem to have any particular issues with it. The Cyclops is awful, but I don't like Cyclopses at the best of times. Let's pop the Dura on there. Is it Dura or Duro? Duro, Casio Duro. Duro, put the Duro on there. I'm not a fan of the Cyclops at the best of times, and it's really, really awful on this. I do like this watch though. I'm tempted to try and heat one up and chip it off. But yeah, I do like this watch. I don't. If I damage it, then it's going to annoy me. So I probably won't do that. But yeah, other than that, it's a pretty faithful reproduction, I believe. Well, we'll see in a minute, of the genuine article. I think for 70-80 pounds, I think this cost me. I love it. I think the thing I love about it is the ceramic bezel, the color of the ceramic bezel, the blue and the black. I've just got a thing about, and obviously the blue GMT hand. So that's contender number 2, and contender number 3 is Batman. Got an actual Batman into the channel. Let's take this off. It's bad boy. Something I will mention about this, actually, before I take it off, is that it actually fits me, my 7¼ nearly 7.5 inch wrist. This has not had a link removed, and it actually fits me. That's something I've noticed, because I'm lucky enough to have been able to try on some nice watches, and lots of those, or some of those, are Tudors and Rolexes, and it seems a bit of a common theme lately. It's that they fit you. Well, they fit me. Whereas I used to have to take a link out of every watch that I purchased myself and wore myself. So when you try it on in the AD, it's too big for you. But this one and other ones that I've tried on are not too big. Actually fits me. Now, I don't know. That would be really. I don't know what would happen if you had a 7.5 plus wrist. You'd have to ask for another link, pay for another link. So this is not Rolex's most. How does that even work? I haven't even looked at this yet. I'm not going to pull it around in case because I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with this particular class. But it has a few micro adjustments inside there. There's, looking at it, I'm guessing that could become too bigger than it is on the micro adjust. But nonetheless, it still fits me as it is. Which is interesting. I'm not quite sure. I've tried some Tudors on, the new Tudor Black Bay 54, which is a 37mm watch, needs links taken out of it for me, which is bizarre because it's such a small case diameter. But some of the other, like for example, the Black Bay 41, the non-dive bezeled Black Bay, I'm pretty sure that fitted me without having any links removed, which is weird that a 41mm watch would fit my nearly 7.5 inch wrist. But a 37mm watch, which is, I'm assuming, designed for someone with a smaller wrist, would need links taken out. So I don't know what's going on there. It just seems a new trend. Let me know if you found that. It's something that's only become apparent in recent last 6 months to me, but I don't know. Maybe it's a thing. Maybe you've got you've got some sort of idea as to why that is. So what do we have? So we have the Rolex Batman on, or to give it its correct title, a GMT Master 2, the latest version of that, the 12 series. I don't know the numbers in between, but it's 1, 2, something, BLNR. Yeah, I think it's gorgeous. It's a classic. It's very similar to the, I think the biggest difference, well, there's obviously a few visual differences, but, you know, they're not a million miles apart, let's say. But nor can they be really. The Rolex is stunning. It's a stunning watch. I think the Pagani design is stunning for the fact it costs 80 quid. But they are not comparable. I think the biggest design, all right, let's talk about the differences then. So the crown is the thing that I notice on the Pagani. Now you're holding them next to each other. You notice some things really stand out that didn't really bother me too much before. The crown on the Pagani is absolutely huge. It almost is pointless having crown guards because they don't really protect it in any way. It's like your horrible crown on the Pagani, but Pagani have to use parts. They have to raid the parts bin. So, you know, you can forgive them that, and I do forgive them that because I absolutely love this £80 Pagani. It's the only one that I like. I've bought a few, but yeah, the others are just of no real interest to me. But I do love. I'm keeping this Pagani design Batman. Yeah, it's the same dimensions. I think I'm not going to measure the case diameters, but they are the same lug width. Very similar design clasp, obviously, minus the crown. Again, it's a generic clasp, so it's going to be a fair bit bigger. But I think the biggest, the difference, obviously you can look at pictures, but I think the biggest difference that I didn't really appreciate until I held them, the Cyclops. So the Cyclops, I don't like Cyclopses. I'll critique the Rolex in a minute, but I'm just comparing these two for the time being. Yeah, the biggest difference, which I didn't understand before actually holding this in my hand and having a fiddle with it, is on the Pagani, as most copies tend to have, it's got a unidirectional bezel. It's a very nice one, but as I say, I do like this Pagani design Batman. So yeah, very nice one. On the real thing, it's actually it's a bi-directional bezel, as you kind of would expect on a GMT, to be honest. And it's a 60 click bi-directional bezel. And it has, I don't know why, I just like, it's like thud, 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 thud. There's something quite nice about that movement of the bezel. It's rock solid, obviously gorgeous looking. And that was the biggest take I had from actually holding this in my hand, was the bezel action. I'm glad it's not 120 click. And I just do really like that movement, because it's a very different movement. No matter how nice a unidirectional bezel gets. I mean, this is quite a nice. This is quite a nice bezel, to be honest, a bezel action. But let's say you I don't know, what's the best bezel action I've ever felt would be the latest Sea Dweller, which is, I don't know, it just felt like the Rolls Royce of bezel actions to me. And I only had it on the wrist once, and had a quick sort of fiddle with it. A fidget. Is it more of a fidget than a fiddle? Fiddle sounds a bit like something you did in the 80s, 70s and 80s. Maybe it's a fidget nowadays. Got to be politically correct. But yeah, no matter how good a unidirectional 120 click bezel gets, I think having a 60 click version of it is supremely satisfying. There's just something about, because it has to go further before it gudum, gudum, gudum. It's very, very satisfying. Now, the other thing I didn't notice until holding them in my hand is, and this is the only thing that really annoys me about the Pagani now, is the Pagani numbers on the bezel are white. whereas on the genuine article, they are silver. Now, I'm guessing they're silver because they're, I don't know, are they gold? I'm not actually sure, but they're silver. And boy, does that make a difference when you've got them next to each other. I hope you can pick that up in the video. I know, you know, some guys are going to say, oh, it doesn't make a difference. I actually quite like them in white before I saw them in silver. Yeah, and there's obviously an element of the Rolex is better made, so they're a little bit sharper. The font's a little bit better. They're a little bit straighter, but really not much in it. You know, well done to Pagani for you know, managing to make this their Batman fakeage so nice. Yeah, so love it, absolutely love it. So right, so to review the actual real McCoy, I did a video a while back about my predictions for Watches and Wonders, and I predicted a Dark Knight Batman, which never happened, in titanium. And one of the things I said, I can't remember everything I said, but one of the things I said was it would have 21mm lug whips. Now, there are probably 3 or 4 things I'm not that keen on about the latest iteration of the Batman. But it is an absolute classic, and I absolutely love it. Yeah, it just is what it is, but I'd like it to be better. But then, you know, we're all looking for the perfect beat, but it doesn't exist. This is pretty much grail material for me. It's just such a lovely, it's just such a lovely piece for me. But what don't I like? I've already said I really like the bezel, the colour and the movement. I've already said I really do not like Cyclopses. This is probably the only Rolex that I would suffer a Cyclops on, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I think they're awful things, really. Look what it's doing to that GMT hand. It doesn't look straight to me. But yeah, you just got to look beyond this, really, not get too OCD-ish about it. I'm not... I'd rather those 21mm lug whips, as I predicted. I'd rather it was probably slightly bigger case size. But I think it would have to be really to have bigger lugs, bigger lug width. I'd love a 21mm bracelet on there, which a lot of Tudors actually are doing now. A lot of people don't realise that a lot of Tudors are going to 21mm. It started with the Pelagos 39. The new Black Bay 39, it's been out in steel and gold last year, and it's now been released from Watches and Wonders in a 39mm variant in steel this year. So that's the bezel, the non-dive bezel Black Bay, the dress watch looking one, which is now on a 5-link bracelet. Yeah, the 39, which everyone is going to want, is actually on a 21mm lug width. The new Black Bay burgundy bezel dive watch, that's 21mm now. It used to be 22, that's 21. So Tudor are having a real march on 21mm lug whips, which I absolutely love. I've mentioned it before. I think it's a lovely size lug width, and yeah, bring it on. But yeah, I think this looks a bit shoulder heavy for me with a 20mm lug width. I think it would look much nicer with a 21. Polished center links, not the best, but again, it just is part of this model. You know, it is just, the Batman has polished center links, so it is what it is. Suck it up. And yeah, so there's a few things there. I thought there was 4. I can't really think of a 4th one. So we'll leave it at that. So it's Cyclops, 20mm lug width, and whatever the other one was. Was there another one? I can't remember. It was only a few minutes ago. But yeah, it's I think it's a stunning piece. And yeah, what do you think? What do you think of these three wannabe Batmans? Well, 2 wannabes and the actual Dark Knight. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll do a couple more quick ones now and get them pushed out. Sorry, I've been a bit slack on releasing the videos. I do actually have here a new camera that arrived today. I didn't buy it for YouTubing, but it may or may not be better. It does have a macro function, and it means I don't have to use my phone. And I think what I'll try to do is combine the use of this camera with, I've not even turned it on yet. That lens pops out to about there. I mean, it's just stunning. I don't know how it does it, but it just, yeah. It does. Well, I haven't seen this one do it. Maybe this one doesn't do it, but in the pictures, it's like, God, I love a Sony. But yeah, hopefully that will be better video quality. And I'll probably use the change in video quality and hopefully combine that with some editing. Yeah, if there's anything you can suggest or you'd like to see improvements to the channel other than those two things, do let me know in the comments down below. Really appreciate getting near 100 subscribers now. I hopefully have helped with your watch journey, and I know I have helped at least one person with their watch journey. But yeah, you know, if it's been helpful, please leave a comment. Let me know how it's been helpful. If you disagree with stuff or just want to have a rant, then do that as well. I don't mind. I'm not monetized, so just having the comments doesn't do anything for me other than give me reason for doing the videos. It's just lovely having comments and feedback and chat with other watch guys. Well, that's it. So on that note, one wrist, live it.